Weather forecast.
This is All About Home Construction, and here's your hosts, Terry Cannell Beck and Randy Blake.
That's right. Good morning, Randy Blake.
Morning, Terry, and everybody out there.
So, welcome to All About Home Construction. The first spring show of 2026.
You know what? That's the reason we're running behind. I mean, we was outside sunning.
I know.
59.
Hey, I'm taking it easy out there. I had to roll the window down coming into work this morning. Let the breeze come in.
Oh, it's nice. Pretty morning.
This is. I love it when it's temperatures like this, like 60s and no more than 70 degrees. That's my kind of temperature right there, buddy.
I think that's most people's. But
all right, that's fair.
they'd rather have that all winter.
I know. Well, that's fair. I mean, that's why a lot of people go to Florida instead of New York, but that's another discussion for another show. But no, it's springtime. It feels like springtime. I was outside working in the yard last night after work, and it was great. And just getting some brush cleaned up, and now I get to have a big bonfire one day, hopefully.
All right. If you get a little rain.
Yeah, it's what I mean, before I do too much, yeah.
You know, they sort of kind of missed a lot of the weather reports.
When we look at it, like we could get some showers over the next 2 days, I guess. But when I say that, it's just going to be like pop-up scattered showers, like 20% chance here and there. So it's not enough to really even say we're going to get it. It's enough to say, oh, watch out, but enough to say, nope, not happening.
Yeah, less than a quarter of an inch.
Yeah. But I tell you, though, I've turned into that weather geek. I think I've told you. And so at my house now, it says I've got 7.39 inches this entire year. This month alone, I've got almost 2 inches of rain.
All right.
So that's been fun to watch, I'm telling you.
Is Tennessee in the drought?
That's a good question. I need to look and see. I mean, like, I don't know.
I know we're still in the drought.
I would imagine so, because 7 inches sounds like a lot at once, but when you spread it out since January, it's not a ton. And we've had some snow, and I don't know how the snow measures into my weather gauge. Like, I don't know if it measures it accurately.
Probably not.
I would imagine not, because
there is a formula for it. Is it?
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't remember. Is it 20 inches of snow equals 1 inch of rain?
Something like that. But see, some are drier than others, and some are wetter than others. So I think there's no given like 100% fact.
Well, they're saying they've done predicted June 1st. We're going back into El Nino.
Mm-hmm. So
we should be back in standard rain.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens there.
Is that hurricane season?
Yeah.
Isn't El Nino the one that makes hurricanes more?
Yeah.
La Nina is less hurricanes and El Nino's more hurricanes? Or do I have those reversed? I don't remember. I always get them mixed up. But anyway, it's all right. So enough about hurricanes, right? It's all about home construction here in WATA and a podcast, and we appreciate all of our listeners out there. And I hope last week's show, we got some good feedback from last week, and it seems like some people enjoyed that, so we appreciate it.
Good.
So, hey, and when Randy's done with the show, everyone should just call him and convince him to go with me and paint today. I'm trying to talk him into it, and he keeps saying no. So he needs some practice painting, so we can talk about painting next week. It's show research, Randy.
Okay. I want you to bring me back a 10-page report on what you accomplished.
Okay.
Isn't that how teachers was when you kid?
Yeah.
This is your assignment for the day.
It's a lot easier these days, though. Hey, Google.
I'll tell you what, it's totally amazing what's going on in the world.
It is. Of course, as you know, as clear with my smart stuff, I am a fan of AI. I think it's got its place. It's a tool, though, and I think that's the difference, right? It's like I can use AI to help me rather than do it for me. But I was also, look, we were both alive in the 90s when Google and internet became a thing, and how many people were like, oh, look how dumb people are going to get because they have the internet. And I feel like I've gotten smarter. So I think AI is the same way,
Well, the biggest thing is you can do more research. Remember, used to go to the library and do a lot of reading.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hours in them books. Now all those books are transformed into the cloud.
It's cool. But again, I'm not going to get on my teacher soapbox, but like I tell my students all the time, it's like, it's just, it's just a search engine. It just gives you information. You still have to find it and you still have to verify it.
Yeah.
But it makes the initial search so much easier and faster. So I don't know. I like it because it does all the mundane tasks and lets me focus on the critical thinking and creativity. But
Yep. And Terry's just like Scotty on Star Trek.
pretty much, I try
Talk
to be.
to me, computer.
That's what I do. Yeah. Oh no! Last night I'm sitting in the back, in the backyard after cleaning up that brush, and I was talking to it, talking back to me. It's great. But anyway, enough about AI. Well, what's the week of Randy Blake been looking like? Did you get any work done this week?
Not much. We've been working. We don't ever slow down.
Nice. It seems like talking to people that contractors are still pretty swamped and backed up.
Well, it's just not, and it's across the board, everybody. Over the years, the housing crunch destroyed us.
Right.
And, you lost your drywallers.
Mm-hmm.
And we lost our masons. I have to give a big shout out to George Bush Jr. for killing trades in the schools. Mm-hmm. No Child Left Behind took the trades out to try to teach these kids that would be coming in the construction field.
Right.
And it gets a little frustrating because a lot of times you can't get a sub that would be a good sub because they're already booked out for 6 months.
Right.
And then you got people that don't live here, don't understand it. And, I have over the years learned how to tell people that I'm not really interested in your job. Mm-hmm. If you're that impatient,
right,
then I don't need you.
Be. Yeah.
And because there is somebody behind you wanting something done that will wait a little bit.
Right.
Do not call and say, "Can you come tomorrow?"
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Well, I mean that's the thing, right? Like the guy, because people are so booked up, the guy who can come tomorrow doesn't have work for a reason. And I think that's that's something to think about, right? And I mean I'm not saying like there's times when I'm sure your jobs fall through or something happens and you're scrambling for a job. But I'm saying in general, right? Like if I don't have enough work, it makes you wonder at least like why is that the case, right? Is my craftsmanship that poor that people don't want to hire me back, or something like that. So, but again, it doesn't really matter who you're going to get because the truth is you need to do your research on them. We've talked a lot about that. You need to get references. You need to make sure they're a legit company, which goes into what we're going to talk about here in just a little bit, and things like that.
And there's a lot of people out there that will give a contractor bad reviews. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you right here on there, I have one on mine.
Right.
God thought I was supposed to guarantee my roof for life. All right. Yeah. My workmanship for life.
Right.
We put a 5-year warranty on everything we touch.
Right.
All right. And there's times, because if it's going to be a failure, it's generally going to be, it was never a failure to begin with.
Right.
But what it seemed to us was we couldn't do the investigation.
Sure.
But
so how do you fix it?
And so we went and looked at it, and we found screws out. And but we also found where they had window replacement put in and no flashing.
Right.
that allowed the water to turn in underneath the metal, underneath our metal flashing that we have to put on sidewall.
Right. I mean, that's the thing, right? And that's the thing when you talk about warranties anyway, right? And guarantees.
Well, this job was probably 12 years ago.
See, that's the key, right? And I mean, you've been in the restaurant business. You know, you get one person who's just not happy with the service, and then they scream, and it's all about who screams the loudest, right? How many times you go to a restaurant and you're like, oh, I had, that was bad service, and I'm complaining about it, but you went to it before and had good service. Did you brag about it? Right? Well,
most people generally don't, but you're correct on that. You'll get everybody listens to one bad review.
Right.
I mean, I'm not worried about that review.
Sure.
I mean, I posted a response. The thing that I didn't like, that Google would not allow me to post pictures on that response to prove that, because that's what I do for a living. I'm an investigative contractor.
Yeah.
And which we were there to fix a project. We were there to find out what caused it, and if it wasn't going to, we were willing to help the gentleman.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it does, and it happens to everybody. I don't care if it's a guy out here digging a ditch. There's somebody going to tell him he's digging it wrong.
Sure.
I heard yesterday on the news, I'm not going to tell you which news it was, but they were talking about the Barney Frank, Chris Dodd banking regulations under the Obama administration, how it killed construction.
Yeah. Yep. It's like I said. I mean, you said it best, right? People are going to complain. Somebody's going to complain, but that's why you have more than one reference too, right? That's why you do your research when you hire someone. And yes, do your research. Yeah. Ask for references. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. Yep. Well, and on that note, again, the whole thing is to protect yourself. So stay tuned. We got some more about protecting yourself here coming up in just a little bit. Thanks for listening to us. Obviously, by listening to this podcast, you see the value of All About Home Construction. Well, by joining our listener supporter community, you're not just tuning in, you're standing with us as we are able to support and fuel our passions of the construction industry. As a listener supporter, you'll enjoy exclusive perks, including hearing your name, or maybe even your business name, on our show. So please go to our Spotify website. The link will be in the show notes, and join. You can join for as little as $1 one-time fee, $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you think you can afford. Every single penny helps to keep this show going as we can continue to grow and do lots more things. Thanks a lot. And again, more importantly, thank you for listening to this. That's right. All About Home Construction. Thanks for listening to us, and happy Spring Saturday. Talking a little bit. You ready to get in the topic a little bit?
I mean, I'm ready.
So we're all about helping people, and the show today may stray a little bit from actual construction, but it definitely is one of those things that we're doing it because we want to take care of our listeners out there. So, talking a little bit about scams today, huh?
Yeah, and make a long story short, I had the flu this week. So there's one thing you can do while you got the flu besides running and trotting and stuff like that is you can look at Facebook. Mm-hmm. All right? And I've been commenting on a lot of stuff on Facebook that is not real. And a lot of the posts I've been posting on is construction sites. Mm-hmm. And you can tell by the bolting practices on how they're bolting stuff. Nobody turns puts the head of the bolt on the back side of a deck or a beam and runs it out where it can be seen, or like some of the pictures I've seen, the bolts were sticking out, some of them 3-4 inches. Right. Well, some of them was at eye level. All right. The last one I seen yesterday and showed that a guy had built a deck underneath his windows. Well, supposedly.
Right.
And I'm going, okay, did you change your windows out to be tempered glass? Because there is a minimum height of your windows off the floor.
Okay.
Which is about 12 inches. I think it's 12 inches, as close as you can get. But it's got to be tempered glass, so if you fall, you can't break the glass. And it doesn't make any difference if it's inside or outside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And to give you a little history, remember the aluminum screen doors from the 70s?
Yeah.
All right. One of my good friends, younger brother, was fighting with his sister, and they were running through the house.
Oh.
And he stuck his hand through a screen door glass.
I've seen this. I heard this. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. I know.
And within 45 seconds, he bled out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so that's the reason I been calling these scams out, because just because it's thermal paint, yes, it gives a little bit of security.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is it can still be broke.
Exactly. Well, okay, so when we talk about scams, I think one thing that scams today are just so, I hate to use the word professional, but they are, in a sense, right? It is a profession. They're organized. It's not just somebody who's like, in the basement, like, I think today I'm going to do this. No, like they are very much essentially operating like a business would operate.
Yes.
And they even train some of their people. It's not just someone who woke up and is like, I think I'm going to do this today. No, there's some quote professionalism with it, right? And I use that word not as a bragging point. I use that to say like they are committed to this, and they have put work into creating this scam. And there's so many scams out there, and with technology, especially, like, it's just so much easier for them to get away with it now. And, I mean, one of the scams I'm thinking of too is like, maybe you've gotten this text or email or that's like, hey, your Amazon account needs, you've got some problems with it. Click on the link and it goes to it. And when you click on it, it looks like you're on the Amazon page. Like they've copied that page down to the point where when you're scrolling on it, you don't know which one you're on. So when you put your information in, you think you're putting it in Amazon, but really you're putting it in their fake Amazon page. And now they got all your information. And it's stuff like that. That's just crazy. I mean,
matter of fact, I have 2 posts on my email now that I got them flagged, so I can't click on them.
Right.
But both of them are purchases for PayPal.
I've gotten that, and I still help with if I sold the portable sawmills. I still help my uncles with the email side of things on that. And the other day we got something an email. It was like an invoice. And it was wanting us to pay with PayPal. It's like, your invoice is past due, and I click on it, and it was some, I don't even remember now what it was, but it was some like tech thing, and I was like, you clearly don't even know who you're talking to on this one, because that their business is not run on, it's portable sawmills. It's not technology based. They're not buying like microchips or whatever it was, but. I'm thinking like if you're a fairly good sized business and you're just constantly, paying bills, it would be easy to assume that you have this $200 bill out there that, that you know what I mean? Like if I'm sitting there paying thousands of dollars here and I'm just cutting checks right and left to pay my business bills, a $200 check could easily get mixed in there if you're not paying attention, and then.
Well, that don't bother me. If you're writing a check, you'll catch it.
Well, yeah.
But with a lot of this automated.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by like automated stuff. Like it would be easy if I'm sitting down doing bills and I've got a whole afternoon worth of bills for a good sized business. it could very well get mixed in there, and I not pay attention.
Yeah, well, it does happen, but it happens more frequently on the internet.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to dive deeper into some of them, but again, before we do that, like with that technology, I mean, how many times have you gotten these like spoof email or spoof phone calls even? So it's not just internet, right? How many times have you gotten calls that you think are local numbers? Local people.
Matter of fact,
you.
one day I said, "Hello, daughter."
Mm-hmm.
They'd spoofed my daughter's
Yeah.
cell phone number.
Yeah.
And that's I'm sorry, that's a misconception about the federal do not call list, because it doesn't make any difference.
Scammers are still calling.
Yeah.
Scammers,
one
they're breaking the law. They're not following that anyway.
They that's what they do. But on the news, they showed in Africa a bank, one person sitting with 60 phones plugged up to a computer and robo-dialing one right after another.
Yep.
And now, being in business, I answer every call.
Sure.
Because you don't know who it is.
Especially a local number. Yeah.
But I've got so now, like I had a person's name come up yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 910 number. And I said, "Hello, Mrs. Hanson."
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, it's a Latino.
Yeah.
And "Are you Mrs. Hanson?"
Yeah.
"Mrs. Hanson who?" I said, "No."
You called me.
You called me. So I was trying to find this phone that I ordered from Amazon, and because I don't really want to block Mrs. Hanson,
Right.
but I want to. But this cell phone, this handheld, regular home phone, cordless phone, will actually block those numbers coming across.
Okay.
So all they have to do is call one time.
Right.
And so what I mean by that is I take the time to call that number back, and if I get an operator, then I block it.
Right. That's the key. Let's take a break. We'll come right back and dive more into this. Thanks for listening to us. Happy birthday.
And what we mean by that is we are starting our 14th year.
That's right. 14 years on the radio. For 14 years, Saturday mornings on WATA have been all about helping you take better care of your home. From construction tips and home maintenance to answering your questions and talking with experts from across the high country. And none of it would be possible without you, our listeners. Thank you for inviting us into your homes, trucks, and job sites every Saturday morning. We truly appreciate you and your support over the past 14 years, and we look forward to many more. This is all about home construction on Saturdays at 8 a.m. on WATA. And anytime on Spotify and YouTube. That's right, all about home construction. Talking a little bit about scamming today and how to protect yourself too. So I think just knowing about it is going to help you quite a bit too. And all right, so let's jump into some phishing and email. Let's do email and text scams. How about that? You ever got those bank fraud alerts? They call or they, again, email, text, whatever, talking about your bank account, something bouncing or something like that, and pay now kind of thing.
And you know what's really scary is I'll get these phone calls about a credit card, and they have my last four numbers of my Social Security number.
Uh-oh, yeah.
And
that's pretty scary.
Yeah, and so it's got me checking stuff weekly. And and so what I do is I ask them their name, I ask them for their phone number, which is generally a number within the United States, because and their direct line number or number that I need to do it, and then I said, "Can I get back with you?"
Right.
All right. So then I call my bank and I talk to them.
See, that's the key, right? Is if you ever get these calls, even if you think it may be true,
do not answer the question.
Yeah, hang up and call the actual bank. And call the bank that the branch that you use, right? because they're going to help you out, and they're not going to be upset with you. A real bank is not going to be upset that you hung up on them, right? And so if you think it could be legitimate, and this goes not just banks, right? This could be, because a lot of things like UPS and FedEx delivery issues, and but different things you subscribe to, like some kind of renewal, because that's another one that pops up a lot is like, oh, your account has been frozen because, and if you don't fix this in the next hour, we're going to lock you out forever. And it's like, well, first of all, no real business is going to keep you from being a customer later.
No, they're not.
And if it's that big, then if you hang up and call the actual place, the place that you know how to contact, they're going to help you out.
And it's bad enough that you got people putting these card readers that grocery stores or the gas stations can't catch, and then you're constantly having to change the card out. It's just like every time we go to Oklahoma City, one of my cards gets charged on.
Yeah.
And every time my boys come back to North Carolina, they get hit.
Yeah.
So the bank says to pay attention to your statement. If you see a charge for less than $1, then a little over $1 consecutively,
they're testing it to see if it's a real open account.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. And I actually got hit a few years ago for $5,000.
Yeah.
I mean, the bank took care of it, but the point of it is the money wasn't there that you needed on hand to make a bill.
Yep. Now
so then again, that makes you look like a
and the stress and the stress and the aggravation and the time. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, and it's just not minutes; it's hours.
Yeah.
And I want to mention this before we go any further. The reason I wanted to go over this was I caught it on the news this week out of Charlotte. North Carolina alone the public is being scammed out of $2 million a year.
Right.
From scammers.
Well, and that number too is hard. And the reason I say that is there could be $200 million per year because how many don't report it or how many don't realize it.
Yes.
And so that number is not going to be accurate ever because of that.
Now, this is just put out by the Better Business Bureau of Eastern Carolina. This doesn't cover the rest of the state.
See, that's the thing, and again, when we were looking through the research before the show, like we've seen some different numbers pop up, and again, I think that's why is because it's not something that you can easily tack down. But what I can say is that like nationwide, I was reading this one and I can't remember now which this is the FTC put this out, and they said nationwide Americans lose over $12.5 billion in 2024. Is their less.
So in 2024 that's increased by another 30%.
So so basically hundreds of millions of dollars, if you really break it down, are being stolen from North Carolina every year through these scams.
Imposter scams.
Yeah. Well, and so, yeah, if they call that, the fake call ones, like they'll say like their local governments, and we hear this once in a while in the news, like for instance, the sheriff one. I know that's a big famous one, famous popular one that seems to go around every
enforcement every spring. They start making the phone calls.
Yeah. We're so and so with the fire department. We're so and so with the sheriff's department, and give us your money now, kind of thing. So those are interesting. Like again, we talked a little bit about the banks, the government offices. It's been a while back, but I got a call one time that was like, your social security number has been suspended. Well, first of all, the IRS isn't going to call me and tell me that.
No, IRS will send you a certified letter.
Yeah. And second of all, like, they're not going to, how do you suspend a number? Like, that number doesn't do anything. I mean, you know what I mean? Like that number's not your account. How do you suspend a number? Does that mean you don't have to pay taxes? I mean, like, That doesn't make sense when you think about it. But in the moment, you're scared, you're panicking. I mean, that's how they prey on you, right?
Yeah.
Is they get this scare, they get this emotion. And that's why when they call, like things are so urgent, you got to do this right now or you're in trouble, or you're going to go to jail sometimes, right? Like they're playing on your emotions that they're trying to scare you into.
How many times you open the computer and they're trying to hold your computer hostage?
Yep.
And if you open it and read it, now your computer is locked down.
Because they get access to everything.
And
yeah.
So if that comes up on your computer, hit your off button immediately.
Yeah, never click on links that they send you. Again, you may think it's Amazon, you may think it's your bank, but don't click on those links. Open another browser and go to the link that you normally log in with.
Yes.
Because again, a legitimate organization's not going to threaten you over the phone or demand immediate action.
Look on your computer, guard,
Yep.
software, because I have ESET, ESET, and this last time I renewed mine, I have VIPN,
Right.
so they can't come on back on me.
Right.
So I mean, it's just a thought. Tax refund and this is a big one. DMV scams.
DMV scams. You got this ticket for tolls or parking tickets. Those have been popular. In fact, I was just this week. I was with a friend, and they were like showing me their phone. Like, look what I just got, and it was like you have unpaid tolls. And
Yeah.
the guy had left Boone in the last 2 months.
I got one from New York City.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I have no intention of ever going to New York City, nor have I ever been there.
Yeah. So some of those again, and look, we're laughing at these because when you think about it, it's kind of easy to sit back. But again, in the moment, it's just you can get the emotions can get in there, or you don't think about it. Oh, I got to do this, got to take care of this bill, and that's how they get their money. That's how it works.
Most time there's hitting seniors and it's on medical.
Right? Medical one. Or what about the senior ones where they're targeting the seniors and it's like they're calling to pretending to be a grandchild?
Yes.
Right?
60 Minutes did a big thing on that.
Like, I'm in jail. Don't tell mom and dad, but you got to send me this money right now. And that's a pretty popular one. Tech support. You kind of mentioned this one, that's like your computer's infected. Give me remote access. I'll fix this for you.
That's been going around the last couple of weeks. Yeah. I've been getting calls about wanting my what kind of printer I'm using.
Yeah.
So they can order me ink.
Yeah.
What I found out over the years being in business is buy the ink manufactured for your printer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to buy it at Staples or Walmart or Amazon, but those are places that you can buy your ink from. It's legit.
Right. Well, again, it goes with doing business with people you trust and have. How about this one where scammers will ask you to pay with something like a gift card? A wire transfer is a very popular one. Or even now we're starting to see cryptocurrency pop up.
Yep. That come up today in the fraud.
Yeah.
And
the reason being, though, Randy, is you can't change that back. You were talking like you were mentioning like your credit card got dinged. The bank was able to reverse that.
Yep.
Well, if I give you a Apple gift card, a Google Play gift card, a Visa gift card, you can't. Once that's gone, right? Wire transfer is the same way. In fact, years ago,
they can't come back on a wire transfer.
Years ago, I was I knew I was trying to be scammed when I going back to selling the sawmills, and I had messaged this guy back and forth for a week or two, and I knew it was a scam because he didn't. First of all, he didn't know what product he was buying, and so long story short, he sent me a check that was $2,000 more than the sawmill was, and he wanted me to wire that extra back to. He kept calling it the shipper. You know?
Yep, and then he strips all the money out of your
Exactly.
account.
Well, that's it. You know, and he would have, if I would have done that, he would have gotten $2,000 off of me because, you know, and I kept saying, well, no, but he sent me what looked like a certified check. I mean, I knew it was fake. I knew the whole thing was a scam. But if I didn't, I would have looked at it like it looked like a check. In fact, I went to the bank and talked to him because not that I wanted to deposit it. I was going under the angle like, is there a way to bust this guy? And so, long story short, after talking to the police department, like the Boone PD actually called me, investigator did. From that, I guess the bank's required to report it. And, you know, he calls me and talks to me and he's like, don't cash the check. And I'm like, no, I wasn't planning on it. But my question was like, if I send $1, if I wire transfer $1, can you trace it and bust this guy? And they're like, no, unless we're there to like when you get the wire transfer, unless we're in the building, like beside you when you get it, there's nothing we can do.
Wow.
Like there's no tracing it. There's no getting it. And, but you know, I will give him credit. I mean, this has been a dozen years ago. But I'll give him credit. He called back a few weeks later, like a week later, and was like, "Hey, just checking to make sure you still didn't cash that check." You know, I was like, "No, I burned it."
And
but,
you know, we're supposed to be in the greatest country in the world, but we're getting hacked every day. Yeah. And the country invented the internet.
Yeah.
Can't even protect us.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I guess my point with the wire transfers and the gift cards and things is, and cryptocurrency now is, no real company is going to ask you to pay with something like a gift card.
Yeah. And what's the one? Americans Clearinghouse?
Yep.
You know, that's a big fraud. Not necessarily American Clearinghouse on its own, but them calling up and giving you money now.
Yeah.
There's more to it than that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, anytime they're calling you and they want you to give them like Terry said, a $50 gift card. Yep. To start your winnings, you know, that's just $50 you give them. Exactly.
Yeah, that payment out of payment scams is one that gets me. We've kind of touched on the next one on my list, and that's online shopping scams. But it's like fake websites that'll sell you like tools for like, or like these name brand, shirts or clothes for like 90% off. If the price is too good to be true, there's a reason for it. Sometimes these websites are literally just created like minutes before you click on it. So be careful with that. Be careful with the marketplace. You know, I love shopping on marketplace. I mean, it's the yard sale of 2026,
and it really helps local people.
Yeah,
but it's pretty big there.
Yep. But you know where I like my reenacting, and a lot of the stuff that I reenact with, like when I it's nationwide. You know, these people are selling stuff, and one of the big things that's going around in the scams there is where, you know, it's like you send me the money, but I use PayPal. Well, if you use something like PayPal, they have two different when you log in and you pay. Like if I want to give Randy money on PayPal, there's two ways to do it. And one is what they call friends and family, where like I know Randy, I trust him, so I send him the money. That's not reversible. There's another one that's like a business one, and they charge you an extra, I want to say it's like 3% or something. I don't know what the percentage is off the top of my head, but they charge me extra. And so that's like a business and service. And so if I want to pay Randy that, then it charges me more. But the key is I can reverse that. Like, I mean, I can talk to PayPal and be like, hey, I got scammed. Randy never emailed me the package, and so it can be reversed. But what I'm seeing is a lot of people are like, oh, I only do friends and family. And that's because they're not going to send you the thing. So if you order off of something like Facebook or like Craigslist is still around, you know, if you do that and pay someone with like Venmo or something like that, you got to be careful and make sure you do it in a way that you can get your money back. And I'm not an expert, but I don't know that you can get Venmo back. I think once it's sent, it's sent. So something like PayPal though, you need to be prepared to really trust that person, that they're going to send you what it is.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook right now, and on North Carolina Life, Just another day in North Carolina where a state trooper finds parking spots that defy the law. All right? It's a cold black North Carolina state trooper. North Carolina don't have cold black state troopers, and they're showing the viaduct over there, and it's not even close to looking like the viaduct going around Grandfather Mountain. Yeah. And then somebody posted the other day that you could copy and paste on your Facebook account, and they'll quit sending you this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, when you sign up on Facebook, you agree to your pictures and everything else.
Yeah.
That Meta is Facebook.
Right.
And they own it. And I'll tell you what really blows my mind. We were sitting the other day, me and one of my subs talking, and after we got through, I was on Facebook, he wasn't, and a few minutes later, something popped up, an advertisement popped up on my phone on the conversation that we had.
I hate to be the conspiracy theorist, but I've done it. We were talking about generators for no random reason, and next thing I know, guess what I got an ad for? Anyway, on that note, when I put my tinfoil hat back on, let's take a break.
Calling all hungry heroes. It's time to fuel up for the day at the VFW's all-you-can-eat breakfast. That's right. Every first Saturday of the month from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., you can enjoy a heaping helping of crispy bacon, juicy sausage, perfectly cooked eggs, golden hash browns, biscuits and gravy, and so much more, only for $15. Whether you're a veteran, a family member, or just a friend of the VFW, you're welcome to join us for this delicious tradition. Come share stories, laughter, and good company while you fill your plate with all your breakfast favorites. Don't miss out on the VFW's all-you-can-eat breakfast every first Saturday month from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. See you there.
That's right. All about home construction. Trying to keep you safe with some scams, or not with scams, but protecting you from scams. Yeah. You know what's not a scam, Randy? The fact that we like our listeners. That's not a scam.
That's a fact.
That's not a scam.
You know, Certainty on Facebook came up because they make a very good shingle. Mm-hmm. Actually, at one time, Certainty was the only shingle that could be installed in Florida because of Hurricane Andrew.
Right.
Because it withstood the winds better than anybody else. Mm-hmm. And so it come up wanting you to download an installation manual. Mm-hmm. And I did not, no need to download the installation manual. The installation manual is on the back of every bundle of shingles that they manufacture. Right. And when I put that on there, then they've not been back on my phone.
Yeah. Which makes you wonder, right? And that's the thing. Like, a lot of these are pretending to be other places, other companies. In the contracting world, the building world is no different. Contracting and service scams happen all the time. One of the common things that we see are like fake Facebook ads for local contractors, and so you think because the algorithms pick it up, and you think you're talking to a legitimate company about something. And they steal money or information from you. What about this one? And I will say that I didn't hear as much about this as I expected after the hurricane, Helene, but storm chasing. What about those scammers? They come in and, we'll help you get back on your feet, and they get money from you, and then they don't do the work. Yeah, I mean, that's
we were talking about that on the air. Yeah. Channel 9. Mm-hmm. Had a contractor down in Charlotte, and that was starting to work, getting his draws, and leaving. Yep. All right. Faraday, I think's the guy's name from Channel 9. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So he went off and moved to Raleigh, this guy did, which would be really great because he just moved in the backyard of the state. Right. And so somebody had seen this on TV and recognized this guy from TV and actually called Faraday, and they went to Raleigh. I believe it now. This has been a while since I've seen it, but I think it was Raleigh. And Faraday was in the house when this guy walked up to get a draw, and he run. Most people don't realize that a fraudulent person like this, he's already been notified by the state that he cannot operate in this state as a construction worker whatsoever.
Right.
Now they have the pretense that they can charge him for a fraud and actually go to jail.
Yep.
So I mean, it will. I know in the early 2000s, two roofing contractors that actually got 6 years in prison.
Yeah.
For fraud to clients, taking the money and running.
Exactly. That's a big one. What about the one where too, like, in asphalt, people got a real bad rap for this several years ago. It seemed like it happened a lot, and it's like we're working in the neighborhood, or we're working in the neighborhood. We have this extra material and that kind of thing. And it's like those scams were.
Yeah, those were big
there for a long. I mean, you still see them, but they were trendy there for a little while. And so really, here's the red flags to look out for, right? When you're talking about contracting, and that's license or insurance. If they don't have it, then they probably are not legit, right? They're not someone you're going to want to do business with. And on the insurance, Randy, can you just give me your insurance?
No. Matter of fact, your insurance has to be issued by your insurance holder.
Right.
Me as a contractor, I can call my sub's insurance company and request it. All right. Now, when I make the call, I've been around long enough, if I make it to August, it'll be 39 years, that most of the insurance companies know me.
Yep.
They'll put the company's name on it, put my name on it, and they'll designate it workman's comp or liability.
Yeah.
All right. Now, see, I've argued with the state over this because on the permit it says if you have 3 or less employees, you're not required to have workman's comp.
Right.
If you have 3 or more, you're required to have workman's comp.
Yep.
All right. But as a general contractor or a licensed entity, residential builder or whatever, you're not allowed to hire any company that does not have workman's comp.
Right. Well, the workman's comp one got me because when I was working for myself, I didn't have employees. Workman's comp doesn't cover me.
No, it does not.
And so I have to have it to work for you, Randy, but it doesn't cover me. So I have to have something that doesn't do anything.
There is no workman's comp.
Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase that. You can get workman's comp for yourself. I checked on it in 2010, and it was $3,500 a year just for myself.
Yeah.
And I said, well, why such an absorbent rate? And they're going, well, an owner will do things that an employee won't.
Right. Yeah. Well,
so you're better off getting an Affleck policy,
right,
than you would be
a workman's
comp
if you're sole proprietor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, the red flags to protect yourself is no license or no insurance. And here's the thing, again, to protect yourself from all these scams that we've talked about is the pressure to act immediately. That's how they get you. It's a emotional thing. They want to catch into you and make you do it right now so you don't think. That's it. And one thing I didn't get to is protect your passwords. Don't use the same one for your email and your bank and your social media.
No.
Because when they get one,
I got
them
2
all.
pages of. Now I'd have to write my passwords now.
Yeah.
But I do keep 2 pages of passwords because I generally start changing stuff every 60 days.
Yeah. And then if you do get scammed, change your passwords immediately. Call your bank, call your credit card company, and then report it to identitytheft.gov.
Yep.
All right. Well, we hope that helps some people out, and yeah, good luck out there. So, again, thanks for listening to us, and happy spring, man. Randy, I guess we'll talk to you next week.
Yep.
See you later.
Bye.